Keeping up with the tech world? Well, it feels like every week there's some new groundbreaking thing. And we're diving into one of those potential game changers today.
Oh, absolutely. We've been digging into a Musk chat video, you know, HarmonyOS phone shocks the world. Catchy title, right?
It definitely grabs your attention.
It does. And for good reason, because Huawei is apparently launching a smartphone in March. And this isn't just any phone, it's completely built on their own HarmonyOS, like from scratch.
So this is more than just a new phone, right? I mean, this could be a huge moment for China's tech scene, maybe even a turning point.
I think so. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today.
Let's unpack this whole HarmonyOS thing. Where did this even begin?
Well, you know what they say, right? Necessity is the mother of invention.
It's a classic for a reason.
It is. And Huawei, well, they've had their fair share of challenges, shall we say, when it comes to accessing, core technologies like the latest chips.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like you're trying to build a supercar, but someone's cut off your supply of engines.
Right. The design might be amazing, but you're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And the video really hammered that point home.
It did. If you don't have control over that fundamental tech, everything built on top of it is going to be vulnerable. So HarmonyOS, that was their answer to this whole situation.
Control over the core so they can build a more secure and, I guess, stable system.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. In this crazy interconnected world, having a solid base, it's crucial for security. That's what the video argues anyway.
And HarmonyOS, this is truly a made in China kind of thing.
From the ground up, yeah. China's baby, as the video calls it.
Which is a big shift, right? No more relying on someone else for their, core software. And this wasn't some overnight project, was it?
No, not at all. The groundwork actually started back in 2015. They went public with HarmonyOS in 2019, and since then, it's been constant testing and refining, years of it.
Years, wow.
The speaker in the video, he even mentioned something about 10 years of slogging through the mud.
10 years, wow. That really shows you how dedicated they've been to this.
Huge commitment.
Okay, so they've spent years building this OS from the ground up. Now everyone's buzzing about this new phone that's specifically designed for native HarmonyOS. What's the difference?
That's an important distinction. So last October, they had this big event, Native HarmonyOS Night, and it was basically a major upgrade to the whole operating system architecture. And now Huawei is saying this native version has some serious benefits for users.
Lay it on me. What kind of benefits are we talking about?
5 key areas, actually. They start with native refinement. Basically, this is all about how the phone looks and feels when you use it. They're talking smoother animations, those little visual details that make it feel polished.
Uh-huh. So they're going for a really slick look.
Exactly. And then there's native interconnection. So making all your devices work together seamlessly. Like imagine just tapping your phone to show your Wi-Fi password.
Right.
Or effortlessly transferring photos between devices.
So making it a more unified experience.
Exactly. It's all about that seamless integration, which is becoming more and more important these days.
Totally. What else?
Okay, so then you've got native intelligence. Their AI assistant, Xiaoyi, is getting a big upgrade. It's now powered by their Pangu AI model, which is like a more advanced AI engine. So instead of just basic voice commands, it's more like a super smart companion, helping you with all sorts of things.
Like a truly integrated AI, almost anticipating what you need.
That's the goal. And of course, security. Can't forget about that.
Yeah, that's always a big concern.
For sure. So native security, they've basically redesigned the whole security framework. They're actually banning 9 types of permissions that are often seen as, a bit intrusive when it comes to privacy.
No more snooping.
Exactly. And they're introducing 7 new security measures for those common things we do every day on our phones.
So a real focus on protecting user data.
Absolutely. And finally, native smoothness. This is about making the whole user experience feel fluid and responsive. No lag, just buttery smooth transitions everywhere. They really want to show off how well their software and hardware work together.
It's like they're taking a holistic approach to this whole thing. The visuals, security, performance, everything. And the video made it clear that this new phone, it's been specifically engineered for this native HarmonyOS. This isn't just an old phone getting a software update, is it?
Nope. This is a phone designed from the ground up to work perfectly with HarmonyOS.
That's a big deal for optimization, right?
Oh, yeah. It shows a level of integration you just can't get when you're just trying to adapt existing software to old hardware.
Okay, so we've got the homegrown OS, a phone built to run it flawlessly, and a rapidly growing app ecosystem with major industry backing. But, even with all that, a mobile operating system lives or dies by its apps.
Mhm.
What's the app situation looking like for HarmonyOS?
Now, this is where things get interesting. Huawei claims that native HarmonyOS apps, they now cover something like 99.9% of your daily needs.
99.9%. Wow, that's a bold statement.
It is. And they say this covers 18 major categories. I mean, we're talking everything from travel and education to banking, shopping, all of it.
Okay, but daily needs, that's a bit vague, right? Is there any way to actually verify this claim?
Well, the video doesn't go into detail about how they arrived at that 99.9% figure. However, Yu Chengdong, one of Huawei's top executives, he mentioned earlier this year that they've already got over 20,000 native apps and services specifically designed for HarmonyOS.
20,000, that's a good start.
It is, and they're saying they have over 1 billion devices already connected in the HarmonyOS ecosystem. That's a lot of users, which definitely attracts developers.
Billion devices, that's a massive base to build on.
Right, and they've got some serious players backing them. The video mentions companies like Tencent, the folks behind WeChat, and ByteDance, the TikTok people, they're all in on this.
That's some heavy hitters right there. And when you've got those kinds of companies supporting you, it really does signal that they see a future in this.
Definitely. These are some of the biggest names in the Chinese tech world. And their involvement suggests that, within China at least, there's a real possibility of a complete shift towards HarmonyOS.
So it's like a whole new tech landscape is forming right before our eyes.
And if that happens, well, developers and businesses, they're going to have to adapt if they want to stay competitive. It's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds.
Okay, so we've got the OS, the phone, the growing app ecosystem, and the backing of some major players. But this feels bigger than just a phone launch, doesn't it? What are the broader implications here?
I think so. In the grand scheme of things, this is a huge step forward for Huawei, showing they can bounce back and innovate despite all the challenges.
Right, like a real comeback story. The video actually compared it to SpaceX landing the Falcon 9 rocket.
That's a good analogy, right? I mean, years of work, so many obstacles overcome to achieve something that seemed, well, almost impossible.
Perseverance in the face of adversity.
Exactly. And for China as a whole, HarmonyOS has some serious strategic implications. They want to be less reliant on foreign operating systems, Android and iOS.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially after those U.S. sanctions and tech restrictions. Like they realized, hey, we need to stand on our own 2 feet technologically.
That's it, yeah. The video even calls HarmonyOS China's homegrown shot at tech freedom.
It's about control, right? Not just national pride, but actual control over their technological future.
Exactly. And this phone, it's not the end goal. It's just the beginning.
Like a launch pad for something much bigger.
Exactly. The video makes that clear. It's about integrating HarmonyOS into all kinds of devices across industries everywhere. It's a huge undertaking, and who knows what the long-term consequences will be.
So we've covered a lot today. This new Huawei phone, built entirely on their native HarmonyOS, it's not just another phone launch. This is a big step towards tech independence for China. Driven by necessity, but also fueled by some serious ambition.
They've created this whole new OS. They've got this rapidly growing app ecosystem. They've got major players backing them, and they're laser focused on user experience and security.
It really makes you wonder what's next. What does this mean for the global tech landscape?
Right. And what about the future of mobile operating systems? Will we see more countries trying to go their own way, building their own independent tech ecosystems? I think those are some really fascinating questions to ponder.
Food for thought.
Lots of it.
Well, on that note, that wraps up our deep dive for today. But as always, keep those questions coming, keep exploring, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See you then.